Hello everyone and welcome back to another Strategoy video. Again, today we're just doing a quick preview of the Arcane Cataclysm new FOMO box. The warscrolls for the LUMINETH have been released and of course I could not review this. So let's dive right in. The first change I really want to highlight here is the change to Shining Company, and I really hope it remains the same in the new book. So they kind of got rid of all the difficult stuff and all the restrictions, so it's cleaned up now. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target this unit if the base of each model in this unit is touching the base of 2 or more other models in the same unit. This not only means that you can run and charge while in Shining Company, but you can also reform or even not start in Shining Company and then move into Shining Company, which is great. I think this makes more sense, honestly. And it's just overall much easier to play. This will be really good on things like Wardens, but not as good on things like Blade Lords and the Dawn Riders, which you will take in units of 5 and are way harder to keep in Shining Company to get your bang for your buck. Speaking of which, let's move on to the new War Scrolls for this box. So first of all is the hero. We already did a preview video on her. Go check it out if you're interested in some pre-box tactics. So as we suspected from the rumors, is that she's a 2-cast wizard, and she also she also has 2 unbinds, though she doesn't know 2 spells, so she can only take just the 1. She has an ability that allows her to repeat Lore of Hish spells on a 3+. And she also has a new version of what I suspect is the old Contemplate ability. So before in the current book, all Scenarii heroes are allowed to skip their casting once for 1 turn and then auto cast a spell on the next turn on a 9+. So now that has changed to a once per game ability where you can just pop it at the start of your hero phase to auto cast on a 9. The downside of this is that you can only do it once, so not the 2 or 3 times per game that you could do before. But I like this ability much more. It's cleaned up, honestly. It's way easier to use, and it's very strong. Don't forget that Scenarii heroes are quite squishy, so they're very susceptible to being killed outright. And at least with the auto cast, you can get your value straight away. So I really like this reworked ability. She also has her Tether spell ability, where she transfers all the wound that she's taking to a unit within a short distance of her. She's 165. Personally, I kind of dig her. Her abilities aren't amazing, but having 2 casts or unbinds is just good overall. At Arcane Tome on top of that, and you've got a 3-spell wizard. I mean, look at the Warsong Revenant from the Sylvaneth book. That's very strong. So even if you don't like her abilities, don't write her off just yet. Just simply for having the 2 casts, she's already pretty valuable. Moving on to something else that's supposed to be very valuable is the Sentinels. Obviously, they got nerfed. We suspected it for a long time. I'm amazed that we had them unnerfed for as long as we did. So the lofted profile has been changed from 30 inches to 24, which is, a little bit painful, but not overly terrible. The Wind Mage will see a recurrence, I think, for the Guiding Flurries to increase their range. What is a shame, though, is that the Lantern has changed to an ability that is quite useless. So it used to allow you to shoot even without line of sight, which was too powerful. I agree with that, definitely. But now it just ignores cover. I think in all the years that I've played of Age of Sigmar, and I played from the first day it was released, I can count on one hand how many times I've actually interacted with something that was in cover. So if it was up to me, I'd just not take the Lantern, as the book is right now at least, and go for the High Sentinel with a bow, so 10 shots. They do benefit from the better Shining Company, though. Overall, they're 165 also, so they're reduced 5 points, which is not a lot if you look at their reduced effectiveness. Now, all in all, let's be honest here, guys, before we swing our Doomhammer. it was kind of deserved. You can say whatever you want. This unit was a bit too much of a crux for our army. Some people had, had started not taking them anyway and have had some decent results. So it was an easy unit to use as a unit of 30 with a massive threat range. There was really no counterplay except for unbinding their power of Hish. So now at least it'll be a fair decision between different units. Though I do agree that 165 is quite expensive, but we'll see. Maybe these points are already based on the new stuff that we're getting in the battletome. Keep in mind that new allegiance abilities and nations can still have a massive impact on the effectiveness of these units. A unit that I've completely written off, even though I just said that it can still have a massive impact in the new book, are the bodyguards here, the Blade Lords. Their bodyguard rule has been changed a little bit. It has been cleared up. Now they're also not allowed to take a ward save, so overall it's a bit weakened. They do get better Shining Company, but honestly, you're usually not taking them to put in a Shining Company. Their points are increased by 15, which is massive for not gaining anything else. They were quite useless before. Now they're just, honestly, as they are now, they're quite bad. I'm not saying they will remain bad, I'll get to that later, but right now they are not great. I would love to see these guys gain a spellcasting ability, as all Vanari units should have. In that case, the 15 points is great, or at least somewhat expected and accepted. Then we move on to our last war scroll. It's the Dawn Riders. Nothing changed for them except their Shining Company is also better. They will see some benefit from this, but not a lot, I suspect, especially because it's a unit of 5, so if you're losing 2 models, it's already very hard to keep them in Shining Company. What also changed is their point cost. They went up a whole 20 points, which is insane for not gaining anything else. So either they're going down again, or getting better abilities in a new book or some great interactions, or you'll not take them in 2 groups anymore, as you see a lot these days. Overall, as some closing thoughts, the good is the new hero is solid in my opinion. Okay, she has her downsides, and obviously everyone wanted something a bit more specialized maybe, or a bit more impactful, but all in all, she's a great pick. I love the new Contemplate, so the autocast on a 9 once per game is much more clear and way easier to use. And I also really like the changes to Shining Company. In my eyes, that opens up Wardens again for blocks of 20, because you can just charge with your block of 20 now and still be in Shining Company, which is amazing for their damage output and survivability. The bad, well, we can't really avoid it. The overkill, it's a definite overkill on the point increases right now. As I mentioned before, it might have been that they're already aiming the points at the new abilities in the book, and then that's fine, or they might reduce them yet again. So anything that we're seeing now, I don't think it'll stick per se, except for the Sentinel nerf that's almost guaranteed. Though I do hope that they're still going to change the Lantern to something more interesting, because right now the Sentinel Lantern is absolutely useless. I honestly can't think of any time I would ever choose a Lantern over an extra Sentinel shot. So that's the bad. And overall, I don't like what I'm seeing on our Vanari troops. It was to be expected that they got the nerf hammer a little bit, because they were overperforming in contrast to all our other stuff. Though I would have hoped that the other stuff would just get improved. But we'll see, guys. Don't despair yet. It's there's a lot to come. The new book might change still, and even if you're super optimistic, we might still get a new temple. Who knows? Nova is up and coming, so usually we see some big releases there. We saw a lot of Chaos spoilers already. Maybe we're getting some new Lumineth. Who knows? I'm not saying we will. I don't think we will, but you know. In Dutch we would say hoop doet leven. hope gives life. So, you know, maybe. There we go. Thank you for watching. It was just a quick video. I didn't really prepare anything for it. I hope you still enjoyed it. Please leave a like and a comment on what your thoughts are. I read a lot of your thoughts in the Discord already, but I would really enjoy a sort of summary of your thoughts on these units and on the changes, so we can get some discussion going in the comments on YouTube as well. Keep in mind that we're a very small number of subscribers away from the 1K milestone. Ryan and I are working hard on a video to celebrate that, and there is some different content to come, which I'm looking forward to, and I think you guys will enjoy it as well, obviously. Anyway, this was it for today. We'll see you next one. Bye bye.